you get the idea. We yak on about nothing today. Sure, it might have some meaning, but, this is the usual how to Tomo 101 brain rot. Have you ever felt like social media is a Sisyphus boulder and you are just constantly pushing it around? Don't worry my guy, you aren't delusional. It's that way by design. It's intricately weaved in a way where it makes you feel either disappointed in yourself or disappointed in humanity. You see, YouTube is like a gutter. Check once, seems fine. Check again, all of a sudden the whole complex is filled with rats, because you forgot to remove the cheese string you were planning to eat. And it's entirely up to us to decide if we want to be the rats, the sewage water, or have our cheese string stolen. Actually, there's probably some people who'd be the walls too. I mean, every sewerway used to be clean at some point, right? Excuse me for going on a random tangent for a second, but search browsers are like the manholes that lead to the sewer, and wherever you click is wherever you end up. Some gutters are extra pretty, nice to look at, and only give you a serious sickness if you stay long enough, while others are just exactly what you expected. But there are deeper layers. This isn't some random middle-sized city sewer. No, we got the entire French catacombs when it comes to the internet. Look long enough, and you end up seeing ladders that lead to a progressively older, stinkier, more rotten, and likely people being buried. But it gets too interesting. So, you gotta go deeper and deeper, look at all there is to offer, right? I mean, it's like that safe haven you saw before, right? That's, until you end up, where there's not even a single lantern anymore. You don't know where you came from. No, you know exactly where you came from, just not where it is anymore. You lost the way back. And once you lose the way back, stuff can mess you up real bad. But Tomo, why the fuck would I go in a big ass sewer system just for the sake of exploring it? Well, you just did. You, by even finding my shit encrusted channel, have gone into depths you possibly could not even comprehend. Everything you thought you knew when you started first looking at YouTube? All completely shattered. You are in the gutter, and fortunately, you managed to find the homeless guy who can see into the damn darkness way better than you can, before you found that last ladder. You go and ask me, what level is this? The fuck, if I know? I only stay here, because the floor is cozier than the others, despite how dirty it probably is. I've seen some schizo, straight up crazy shit in this floor. I see that people have started eating the bones off the skeletons here, writing things with blood from their hands. They've completely and utterly lost their marbles already, and they haven't even passed 25% of all the floors. Now, you've come to a set of three choices. Most people would just want to get out, so that's totally on the table. You can still go up that previous ladder, and follow the lights back up. Do you sit and ask the homeless man, who smells and reeks, what the heck caused him to stay down here, even if that might take days that you don't have? Or do you ignore your fight or flight, and because you might as well, no matter what the homeless guy says, and go down that ladder, never to return? Naturally, the only sensible option here is to get out of there, right? Except, when it comes to the internet, it's not that easy. It's like a wizard managed to hide all the filthy parts of the sewer, make it look nice, smell nice, so you would go down that ladder. Nothing else seemed too bad, and, heck, you probably didn't even see any rats. You go down, and it's the most foul smell you ever could smell. Dead bodies, probably so much rot stink that it could legitimately kill an elephant. There's poisonous flowers coming out the walls. Heck, the walls are barely even holding up, but you wouldn't be able to tell from how little you could actually see. From that point on, because you failed the speech check, which is not even your fault by the way, you thought it was just a nice place to broadcast yourself. You now have two options. Fumble about, until you somehow grab onto something that feels metal, and get out of there, or the way more likely answer, you become part of the death toll. That's not even including the possibility of you accidentally going deeper, and finding out that the previous sewer floor were the lucky ones. There is stuff down here you never thought could even happen, and nothing good. We're talking giant death humanoids that never hunger, never tire, never bathe, never sleep, and most importantly, exist only to kill, and nothing else. We're talking hearing things in your head that you didn't even think. We're talking about things that look like humans, act like humans, talk like humans, and know how to use a flashlight. But they are not your friend. If surviving the super dark sewer level was a 0.1% chance, the next layer is nigh impossible. And it only goes deeper, and deeper, and deeper. The only way, realistically, that you survive is if someone happens to be in the darkness before you even arrived. Or, well, my smelly ass comes down there to come get you, grasping firmly onto the ladder to ensure I do not let go, and scream for you until you echolocate yourself to safety. Here that's an allegory for cyberbullying. I know, super dramatic, but I was setting the stage for what I wanted to talk about. For people in that situation, they feel the exact same way. Trapped, alone, afraid, like they could die at any moment. Okay, maybe not that last one, but you get the idea. Actually, that's the internet in general, but I don't wanna be here all day. It sounds trivial and nearly ridiculous when there's so many simple solutions, but, like I mentioned in a previous video, those are not exactly easy answers for people affected. Those people don't see simply turning off the screen, or just ignoring them, or blocking them, as an option, because they don't know any better. Or they are not thinking straight due to the situation. Also, because telling them to do something doesn't exactly work. I mean, look at where I am. Actually, that last one goes to people telling someone to just do something in general, past me included. So, then, from a guy who goes around leading a weird cult, how exactly do you combat cyberbullying effectively and easily? I mean, the smart answer would be that it takes time and effort to slowly change yourself into a gigachit, but come on. We both know you and I are stupid enough to be intelligent in the first place, so this should be easy. The first part of even getting out of a cyberbullying situation, or preventing one altogether, is to figure out where you are in the internet sewers. Personally, it does not matter if you find yourself anywhere above the areas you don't want to be in, but how do you know if you are about to be in that sort of situation? Think about things for a moment. Have you been strangely confrontational with someone in the past? Does your job revolve around controversial subject matter? Do you do something that some people would look down upon? I mean, yeah, those are pretty important, but the smoking gun to let you know that you are about to end up angering the wrong crowd is if you do Roblox content. Yes, I'm dead serious. It's like being a Dead by Daylight content creator or a Sonic content creator. While it is true that no matter what you do, someone will be angry, it's especially true if a demographic is either miserable to begin with, weird, or primarily full of younger people. For some reason these are multiplied, not added, if you do all four, like you found all 7 Chaos Emeralds and instead of a super form, you have a whole mod ready to Molotov your door down. But that's for most people. Another thing to look out for is if you are way too trusting with some random Discord mod. Look guys, I shouldn't have to tell you this, but if someone is a famous YouTuber, or TikTok star, or honestly, wherever, and they have power over you somehow, even if it seems really small, watch out for anything that seems really sus. You do not have to listen to them, and if they ever do anything you don't like in Deutschmarxes, just like your favorite blue rat said, that's no good. Get out of there, because you absolutely dodged an entire derailing freight train. Now, this is totally different, if it's because they are more on the crazy side to begin with. After all, true artists can be super unconventional at times. Just be certain that they are not threatening you, or suddenly really into you. Are we good? Good. If you happen to do any of that, which, I'm going to be honest with you, most of us already broke one of those, well, now here comes the fun part. How exactly do you solve a situation where someone is extorting or harassing you? Point. I'll tell you how. A lot of different ways how to. The very first one is something truly amazing. Pretend they don't even exist. How do you? Go have fun playing a super cool game, or live your life, continuing to just do whatever you want honestly. If you don't recognize that they exist, or even better, every time they come into a chat, or the comments, act as if this is the first time you ever met the person. Trust me, it drives people insane, because the less leverage you give them on you, the more insecure people who would extort you end up getting. It's quite literally mind games. 4D chess, if you will. Another way to handle it is to not even care. You could pull up, scrape all your personal data off the web preemptively, and then keep giving these harassers wrong information. But that requires you to know that it's coming first of all, and second, most people never even think of something so astronomically genius. So, well, if they have your info, and this is sure to mess with them, scrape your personal data off the web, and laugh directly at the docs. Nobody can fact check you, and if they try to, you can just say everything is photoshopped or AI generated. Best of all, get everyone else in on it, and you successfully turned a potentially serious situation into a comedic punchline. But that's the hardcore super brain version. You could just simply fucking ball everything thrown at you. They call you by your first name? Straight up tell everyone that shit, or imply that person is your unstable ex. Got a photo of you in elementary school? Turn it into a joke about them self-reporting about how ugly they are. They say anything else to imply it actually is you. Double down on it. Actually, go ahead and tell the local police to put you on the call list for, if they try to swat you. They'll call, you pretty much say that everything's fine, and then they can't do anything to you. It's really easy to. Trust me, there's so many fun things you can do that can just mess with people who would want to mess with you. But what if you're staring that giant humanoid right in the face? You actually just stand there, inviting for a hug, and, well, you ironically decide to play Undertale in real life and just talk to them to try and save them. There are totally some cases where this could backfire, but at the same time, a lot of people are just really, really hurt deep inside, and they go after you to make themselves feel better. If you solve the problem at the source, and befriend them, so that they don't have destructive behavior as much, while making sure to keep your boundaries, that is the absolute best thing you can attempt to do. Flip the script entirely. It's wonderful how strong the human spirit can be sometimes, and sometimes, it's completely right to convert people with it. If you can't do any of those things, because, well, Tisha, or you don't think you are really him, I implore you, you are him. If you can't, the boring option is to simply block them. Sure, they might come back, but the more you do it, it's actually slowly eating away at their own sanity. Also probably the least time-consuming and probably the easiest. You don't make some crazy life-altering statement, but at the same time, you still win. Another good thing is to leave Twitter. Trust me, it's not worth the extra attention. Look, if YouTube and every other website is a sewer, Twitter might as well be mortar. The waste pit I mean. Actually, you are perfectly free to leave anything regardless how sunken you are. Sunk cost fallacy doesn't mean shit down here, it's probably better switching up than returning later once everything has died down. But, well, what if you can't commit to any of those 5 main option branches? What if all that is too crazy, too emotional, that it's too much for you? You just want it to stop. Or you never wanted to start. Then, I'm afraid the only way for that to happen is to limit how much time you are online. Sure, turning off the screen and going outside is cool and all, and probably really good for you, but if you don't do anything at all, you don't post, you don't comment, or you don't leave a bubble, you technically won, but at the same time, they think they've won. And, to be fair, in this case, they have. You gave into the pressure, and you just stopped being yourself. And that is a really, really sad way to live. Imagine you are just an observer in the internet. You never like, you never comment, you never leave anything that could let anyone know you exist at all. But you are safe. Or are you? It's better than being bullied into dying, but by how much? Let me make this super clear to you. The 6th choice branch isn't an option. No matter how much you feel like you want to cave, no matter how many people dogpile in you without even knowing the truth, no matter how many nudes are leaked. If you give up, I'm sorry to say this, but you are a coward. How dare you treat yourself like this? You have the opportunity to emerge like a phoenix out of the sewers, and shatter the whole system to ashes, but you chose, or even are considering dying as an option. Give yourself more credit. I do not care what they say about you. You should not care much what they say about you either, because you, and those who you love, trust, and your fans, should not care about the negatives, unless it's something worth getting angry about. We are all human, and all our mistakes serve to strengthen us, not be made into a weapon to defeat us. Escaping the sewer is nigh impossible, unless you make it a mission, and use everything you have, to escape that sewer. That's how you survive. When you choose the fighting option. I don't mean actually fighting people, no, I mean you go out there, you show them that you are just simply better than they are, through good deeds and goodwill, and you get yourself that victory royal. Imagine, if, the moment I got one of my games called stupid, I shelved that whole thing and never developed a game again. What the hell would I think about myself? Sure, it might seem nice in the moment, but 2 years? 3 years from now? I'd want to legitimately punch myself. I didn't give it even a single thought in my mind, and because of that, an battle simulator was born into this world. That moment was one of the happiest, most joyful moments of my entire life, all because I didn't listen to a detractor. How you fight, I can't possibly tell you how. That is unique for every single person, and some might be done in some sort of quiet way. But, whether you are a commentary channel, an artist, a random guy going around playing the flute, I do not care who you are, you can do it. You can make light out of any situation, and strive to become better from it. I mean, if I can lead you, if you happen to be making nothing but exposing content, you can be a surprisingly positive influence in the space by flipping the script yourself, and deciding to do something genuinely amazing. Instead of making a video about downfalls, set up a rise for someone else instead. Watch them grow, and feel great doing so. If you normally just react to things, try using that reaction power for a great cause. There's just so much I want to say, so much I want to tell a whole generation of people who are led to think in negatives, when there's genuine amazement, when we do the exact opposite. Of course, when humanity stops treating the internet like it's high school, things will get a whole lot better, but until then, let us become the best version of ourselves. Show people the way. And when we do get out of that sewer, having changed for the better, even in real life, we'll all thank ourselves for not giving up. Now, I got a silly Roblox anime cash grab to try to revive as an entirely free fan game. Anime Recross, if you don't know. Hope you all felt inspired, and motivated to keep going. And to a certain green Roblox figure with a Vok in his head, well, I guess this voiceover was made because of your very unfortunate story. Hope it found you well, hope you continue to have a wonderful time on YouTube, and, well, don't ever feel like being emotional is a bad thing, or that you can't have emotion in your profession. It is okay to grieve, and it's okay to feel devastated when bad things happen. What truly matters is that you made it this far to begin with, and that is amazing. I know we have completely different purposes as YouTubers, and completely different purposes in general, but hey, the Sonic Adventure 2 plotline had to start somehow. Gotta make sure someone who was nice enough to comment on a random video, even after all the ridiculous stuff that's happened, has their day made, and their spirits lifted. That's my personal mantra. Sorry everyone else got sidetracked. You guys have fun, alright?